Hey man, say man, this is the A Man Show, and I'm back for more NBA and NFL content. Odell Beckham Jr. has been one of my favorite players of all time. I can make the case that he's my favorite player of all time, seeing how he's one of the most polarizing and dynamic players in the last half decade, and also one of the most talented wideouts throughout the NFL. And because of his talent of being universally known as having the best hands in football, along with great speed and route running on point, he has been a matched up nightmare for the Giants. And I really want him to succeed with the Giants, let alone win a Super Bowl, because you can build a team around him because he is that good and impactful. But that's not what the video is about. OBJ has been the most unluckiest player in the NFL because due to the fact that he never had consistent Super Bowl offense back in New York, and not only that, a consistent quarterback that can throw to Odell, and injuries has hampered him at the most unfortunate time. And once he got traded to the Browns to pair with Buddy in crime and Jarvis Landry, and with Baker Mayfield, who was the #1 overall pick of the 2018 draft, who also had one of the greatest rookie quarterback seasons of all time, we thought that Odell is going to emerge as a top 3 wideout, let alone being the top receiver in the NFL going towards the 2019 season. At least we thought so, but coaching issues for Freddie Kitchens of him not getting Odell the ball, team chemistry issues, and Baker Mayfield having a huge step back in his sophomore year in the NFL led to Odell having an unproductive 2019. But getting new head coach and Kevin Stefanski, who's an offensive-minded coach and very improved offensive line, that showed in this season as they're 5-2 being placed third in the tough AFC North division. And Odell, throughout 6 games he played, he looked like his old self in New York as he's having a great start in his season. But last game, news broke out that Odell suffered a torn ACL that will make him miss the remainder of the season. So looking at it going forward, it's looking like that he's not going to stay in Cleveland after this turmoil, which is why in this video we're going to look and see how Odell is the most unluckiest player in the NFL. And also, if y'all are watching this video, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel for more NBA and NFL content. I'm trying to stay consistent in my uploads, and also turn on my notifications so that way y'all don't miss any of my videos. Anyways, Lego.
I paid my dues, now I'm a made man. I call my fade, now I'm a made man. You never see me again. I got the juice, now I'm a made man.
Let's look back at the 2014 draft class. So OBJ had been picked as the 12th overall pick of the 2014 draft, as he was the 3rd receiver taken in the stacked receiving draft class with Mike Evans, Sammy Watkins, Brandon Cooks, and Devontae Adams. Going to his rookie season, we thought that he's going to be the 2nd receiving option behind Victor Cruz, who was the established veteran receiver on the Giants, but that wasn't the case as the season prolonged. Although Odell didn't go off in his first 3 games, the game against the Cowboys is where he became the OBJ we all know today, because the catch he pulled off is by far the best catch I've ever seen in my life, and all y'all watching this video, y'all will agree with me on that, because that catch pretty much jump-started his superstar rookie season, as in the rest of that season he will not have a game where he didn't ran under 90 total yards, reached a total of 1199 yards, and scored 9 total touchdowns, and had 81 receptions during that stretch since he made that legendary catch. The man was breaking franchise records left and right, emerging as one of the best receivers in the NFL. Not only that catch, along with his production on the field, made him the most popular player in the NFL, along with winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. And people out here putting Mike Evans' rookie season over Odell's, although he has been the most consistent wideout than Odell as a whole. Beckham in the 2014 season is more staggering and just better when you just actually looking at the games and impact alone. Seeing how the Giants that year had a better record than the Bucks, even though they both didn't make the playoffs, but the Giants had a better record because of Odell, says enough. Because the next season is where he made more strides to being ranked as the 10th best player in the NFL top 100 players list, where he caught 98 receptions and ran for 1,400 plus yards and with 13 total touchdowns. This is when he was dealing with double teams all day, because sure, he had Eli Manning, who had a Pro Bowl level season, but the other wideouts on that team other than Odell were Ruben Randall, who was a solid option but nothing special, and the rest of the roster was just mediocre. Throughout his 2 seasons in the NFL were elite, but his team never improved or made key acquisitions to improve this team. I wish they did, as they drafted another wideout in Sterling Shepard in the 2nd round and cornerback Eli Apple. Actually, he actually got drafted before Sterling, as the 10th overall pick in the 2016 draft. Anyways, in 2016, the Giants will have an improved offense, and defensively, they'll have one of the best defenses in the NFL in terms of points allowed and just overall. They'll have more wideouts to complement Odell. Now, he's in a perfect situation to make a run in the postseason as they went 11-5 under new head coach Ben McAdoo, being second in NFC East under the Dallas Cowboys. But they went against the great Aaron Rodgers, and in that game, they stood no chance against them, as Odell did not play well whatsoever, and that is on him because he did not capitalize on making these catches, even though there were multiple times in that game where he was open. That year will be the last year where he'll have an actual team around him, because in 2017, Odell will play only 5 games but suffer a fractured left ankle and will not return for the remainder of that season. That injury he had was so gruesome, he even admitted it on July of this year that he almost retired. Do you know how many people will do what if videos if Odell retired right in the spot? Well, they're going to do what if videos regardless because of the latest injury he had, but still, the media will go absolutely AWOL if that happens. But anyways, throughout that time span between 2017 to 2018, the Giants will have 2 coaching changes, as McAdoo in 2017 went 2-10 in these 12 games and was fired, and Steve Spagnuolo had to take over as interim head coach, and then 2018 they hired Pat Summer, who only led them to 5 wins. Odell Beckham Jr. has been strangled with injuries and had to learn a new offense with a terrible team around him. Despite signing one of the high wide receiver contracts in NFL history, the Giants front office knew that there was no point of keeping him, so they traded him to the Browns for Jabril Peppers, Kevin Detoler, and the Browns' first and third round picks in the last year's draft. Now teaming up with Landry, who has been a Pro Bowl level receiver, along with Baker Mayfield coming off from a great rookie season and emerging Pro Bowl running back in Nick Chubb, we expected the team to make strides in making noise in the tough AFC North division, but the 2019 season was a total disaster as Freddie Kitchens were making questionable decisions on the field and most importantly misutilizing OBJ. Baker Mayfield having a mediocre season, Browns defense has not been good whatsoever, Myles Garrett getting suspended indefinitely. I can go on and on about that season. It was just a disaster. After that season, Odell immediately demanded a trade as he told opponents, even the Steelers, hey, come trade for my ass, will ya? But eventually, the Browns will hire a new head coach in Kevin Stefanski from the Vikings, who was responsible for a great offense that they had in Minnesota as they beat the Super Bowl favorite, the New Orleans Saints, last year. With his great offensive mind, along with drafting offensive lineman Jedrick Wills in the first round, getting Kareem Hunt in the signing, Odell decided to stay with Cleveland for the benefit of all the moves the front office has made, because it's evident that they want to contend as they have one of the best records in the AFC this season. It's looking like everything is clicking as they are on pace to win 10 or more games. And for Odell's case, he looked like his also in New York in the games he has played, but this happened.
Odell Beckham Jr., who looks like he's down on the ground, he's injured right now. He wasn't even looking and expecting this ball. He ran about 20 yards down the field before he even looked for that pass.
So a couple of injured Brown players, not only Beckham, but J.C. Treader.
Odell endured a torn ACL and is out for the remainder of the season. Another terrible way to end a promising season for Odell. And at this point, I really feel bad for Odell because he has been by far my favorite player in the NFL, and he has so much talent under his hands that he can potentially be one of the greatest wideouts of all time, a potential first ballot Hall of Famer. I can really see that for Odell if he was in a winning situation where a team actually utilized his talents. I know I'd be sounding like I'm dick riding Odell, but if you're a certified dick rider with you putting facts and context behind how great that player is, that eliminates the bias within the remarks you're trying to make. For Odell's case, he played with one of the worst franchises in the late 2010s in the New York Giants, who had one playoff appearance but crumbled against the one and only Aaron Rodgers, and Odell, not only getting injured, had to endure 3 coaching changes and gets traded to the Browns, being underutilized, and then this season, he's playing like his old self, along with being in a team who had the best start of their season in decades, but to endure a season-ending injury, or what that injury can really mean for his future in the NFL, because having to suffer a serious fracture ankle and torn ACL that usually tough to even come back in sports. Now he's in a situation now the Browns will either release him or trade him, most likely trading, because when teams want to trade for Odell, they're not really going to get a lot of value from him trading him if they're really considering it. We will hear trade scenarios of teams trying to get Odell, but that's another discussion for another day. But anyway, for all the turmoil and unfortunate times Odell had to face, which leads him having a career-altering injury, is really sad to see, because once he plays with another team, he is not going to be the same productive guy that he was with the Giants, and even a season and a half with the Browns as he's approaching to his 30s. All of that shows that he is the most unluckiest player in the NFL. And that's the video. If y'all really like this video, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more NBA and NFL content, and also click on the notification bell so that way y'all don't miss any of my videos. And that's all, guys. This is the A-Man Show. Sign out.
I need to talk to Mike Larry.
Hello, this is Mike Larry.
Double A Flex.